Imagine this. You go about your daily life, making choices, reacting to situations, believing you are in control. But what if I told you that beneath the surface of your awareness, an unseen force is shaping your thoughts, your desires, and even your fears? A force so powerful that it influences the way you act, the people you're drawn to, and the struggles you face, without you ever realizing it. This force is your unconscious mind. Buried deep within you, it holds memories you've long forgotten, fears you refuse to confront, and emotions you've spent a lifetime suppressing. It drives you, steers you, and in many ways, it controls you. And yet, most people never even realize it's there. But today, we are going to uncover the hidden depths of your unconscious mind, exploring how it affects every aspect of your life. By the end of this video, you'll understand why you do things you can't explain, why certain fears or desires seem to appear out of nowhere, and most importantly, how you can bring these hidden forces into the light and finally take back control. But first, we need to ask the fundamental question: what exactly is the unconscious mind? The hidden depths of your mind. The idea of the unconscious mind was first explored by one of the most influential figures in psychology, Sigmund Freud. Freud's revolutionary insights changed the way we understand human behavior. He proposed that the mind is structured like an iceberg, with 3 distinct levels of consciousness. The conscious mind. This is the tip of the iceberg, the small part that is visible above the surface. It consists of your active thoughts, the things you are aware of at any given moment, what you're focusing on, what you're thinking about, the decisions you are making in real time. But this, Freud argued, is only a tiny fraction of your mind's full capacity. The preconscious mind. Just below the surface, slightly hidden but still accessible, lies the preconscious. This part contains memories and knowledge that you are not currently thinking about, but can recall when needed. Think of it as a storage room. Things are not at the front of your mind, but with a little effort, you can bring them up, the unconscious mind. But the vast hidden part of the iceberg, the part beneath the surface, this is the unconscious. And it is here that the deepest forces shaping your life reside. Freud believed that the unconscious mind holds repressed memories, unresolved emotions, instinctual desires, fears, and forgotten traumas. These hidden forces, though buried, are not inactive. They are always at work, subtly influencing the way you think, feel, and behave. But how do we know the unconscious mind exists? And more importantly, how does it shape our lives in ways we don't realize? How your unconscious mind controls you. Have you ever had a sudden emotional reaction to something that didn't make sense? Maybe someone said something small, and you felt irrationally angry or deeply hurt? Or perhaps you have certain fears that seem to come from nowhere yet control the way you live. These are the fingerprints of the unconscious mind. One of Freud's most famous cases involved Anna O., a woman who suffered from hysteria, paralysis, hallucinations, and selective amnesia, yet no physical cause could be found. Through therapy, Freud and his colleague Joseph Breuer discovered that her symptoms were tied to deeply repressed memories. She had developed a fear of drinking water. Why? Because as a child, she had once seen a dog drinking from her governess's glass and was repulsed by it. She forgot the memory, but her mind did not. And when that memory was finally brought to the surface, her paralysis disappeared. This case laid the foundation for psychoanalysis, the idea that many of our psychological struggles stem not from what we are consciously aware of, but from what we have buried in the unconscious. Think about that for a moment. What could your mind be hiding from you? And how much of your life is being shaped by forces you have never confronted? The power of dreams and Freudian slips. Freud believed that the unconscious mind does not remain completely silent. It leaks through in subtle ways. One of the clearest ways it reveals itself is through dreams. He called dreams the royal road to the unconscious, a space where hidden fears, desires, and repressed thoughts emerge, disguised in symbolic form. Have you ever had a bizarre dream that made no sense? A recurring nightmare that you can't explain? Freud would argue, your unconscious is trying to speak to you. And it doesn't just happen in dreams. The unconscious also reveals itself in Freudian slips, accidental slips of the tongue that expose hidden thoughts. For example, a British member of parliament once referred to his rival as the dishonorable gentleman instead of the honorable gentleman. Was it just a mistake? Or was his unconscious mind revealing what he truly felt? Freud believed these moments are not random. They are glimpses into the unconscious, revealing what we try to suppress. Defense mechanisms, how we hide from ourselves. But here's where it gets even more fascinating. Most people do not want to face their unconscious mind. Why? Because it holds things we'd rather not acknowledge. Painful memories, shameful desires, unresolved fears. So instead of confronting them, our mind protects us. It builds defense mechanisms to keep these hidden truths buried. Some of the most common defense mechanisms include repression, pushing painful memories deep into the unconscious so we don't have to deal with them. Projection, attributing our own uncomfortable feelings to someone else. Ever hated something in someone else, only to realize it's something you struggle with yourself? Denial, refusing to accept something that is too painful to face. Displacement, taking out frustrations on a safer target. Ever had a bad day at work and snapped at someone who had nothing to do with it? These defense mechanisms shield us from pain, but they also keep us from truly knowing ourselves. How to unlock your unconscious mind. So, if your unconscious mind is shaping your life in ways you don't realize, what can you do? Freud's ultimate goal in psychoanalysis was to make the unconscious conscious, because once you become aware of these hidden forces, they lose their control over you. Here are 3 ways to start unlocking the power of your unconscious mind. Pay attention to patterns in your life. If you keep facing the same struggles, repeating the same mistakes, or attracting the same kind of toxic relationships, your unconscious mind may be leading you into familiar patterns. Ask yourself, what belief or fear is driving this? Analyze your dreams. Your dreams are filled with symbols from your unconscious mind. Keep a dream journal. Look for recurring themes. What emotions do your dreams reveal? Practice deep reflection. Meditation, therapy, and even journaling can help you uncover hidden thoughts. When you feel an emotional reaction, pause. Ask yourself, where is this really coming from? Because here's the truth. The unconscious mind is not your enemy. It holds the parts of you that you have neglected, the wounds that need healing, the potential that has yet to be realized. And the moment you start paying attention, the moment you begin to bring the unconscious into the light, you take back control of your life. So tell me, what do you think your unconscious mind has been hiding from you? And are you ready to finally uncover it? Let's discuss in the comments.